As I've been going through NASM Chapter 3, one section that really hit me harder than I expected was the connection between exercise, anxiety, and depression. We spend so much time talking about programming, calories, macros, and technique, but the psychological side of fitness barely gets discussed, even though the research behind it is deep, consistent, and honestly hard to ignore. And for me, learning this isn't just about, passing an exam. It's changing the way I look at people who walk into a gym or people who message me saying that they want to start, but they can't find energy. And when you understand what depression and anxiety actually do to the brain and the body, you start seeing people differently. You realize that most of them are not lacking discipline. They are carrying a mental load that's heavier than any barbell in the room. And understanding this material lets me explain fitness in a way that doesn't sound like, grind harder or just push yourself. It lets me talk to real people who are genuinely struggling and offer something that actually helps you. Depression affects approximately 300 million people worldwide, according to the World Health Organization, and anxiety is right there alongside it, overlapping often but not always. What's interesting isn't just the number, it's how consistently the data shows a pattern. People dealing with depression are far less likely to meet basic physical activity guidelines, not because they don't want to, not because they are unmotivated, but because depression physically alters mood, energy, decision making, and reward pathways. So when we talk about exercise as a tool, we are not talking about motivation. We are talking about biology and behavior being impacted at the same exact time. Exercise doesn't just change how you feel, it changes your brain on a chemical level. Movement increases serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which are the same neurotransmitters targeted by many antidepressants. That's why even small amounts of consistent activity can shift mood over time. You're not just working out, you are literally creating the chemical environment your brain needs to function better. What stood out in the research NASM cites is that exercise operates on both ends of the mental health spectrum. People who are already struggling with depression or anxiety see measurable improvements when they are active. But people who are not depressed yet also reduce their risk of developing depression in the future. And this pattern shows up across different ages, different countries, and different lifestyles, which tells you this isn't cultural or psychological alone, it's physiological. The body responds to movement in predictable ways. And once you understand that, the conversation shifts from exercise might help to movement plays a real role in mental health. Another important piece from this chapter is the comparison between, moderate and high intensity exercise. And studies show that both reduce depressive symptoms, but high intensity comes with higher perceived stress. So it's not that pushing hard is bad, it's that someone dealing with anxiety or depression may not benefit from the additional stress load that heavy intensity brings. Moderate exercise, on the other hand, is consistent, sustainable, and easier for someone to stick with when motivation and energy are unsustainable. It creates enough physiological change to impact mood, but it does not overwhelm the system. That's why simple routines, steady state cardio, foundational strength training often produce the most reliable mental health improvements. A study NASM breaks down took people who were inactive, overweight, and dealing with anxiety and had them walk 3 times a week. That's it. And by the end, their anxiety levels were significantly lower. This shows how powerful basic movement truly is. You don't need the perfect gym routine or, the perfect program. Your body responds to simple, consistent activity. And the hardest part is just taking that first step. Learning this material changes how you look at people who are trying to start their fitness journey while dealing with mental health issues. And when someone says they are tired or unmotivated or overwhelmed, you start to understand the biology behind it. You stop blaming people for not trying hard enough because you see what's really going on behind the scenes. Exercise isn't necessarily a cure for depression or anxiety, but it is a powerful tool that supports the brain on a chemical, emotional, and behavioral level. And for a lot of people, that tool becomes the thing that helps them regain control of their life piece by piece. This chapter reminded me that fitness is more than just, looking good or getting stronger. It's one of the few things that directly improves how your brain actually functions. And for anyone watching who's dealing with depression or anxiety, I'm not telling you to become a gym warrior overnight. What I'm saying is that even the smallest amount of movement can start shifting things inside of you. If all you can do is walk, start there. If all you can do is one workout a week, start there. Your brain responds to movement. And sometimes the simplest step forward is the one that changes everything. If this video hits you in any type of way, whether it made you feel seen, it gave you something that you can actually use, then stick around. Follow the channel. I'm learning all of this so that I can help people who are fighting through the same exact battles that I've already pushed through myself. And I'm going to keep putting out videos that don't just talk about fitness, but actually help you move forward mentally, physically, and emotionally. So if you want someone in your corner on that journey with you, I've got you. Give me a follow and stay with me for the next one.